Okay. Just on the lunch break now, on day 5 of the Undercover Policing Inquiry, Tranche 2, Phase 1. We've been hearing from Roger Pearce, who was an undercover police officer who infiltrated anarchist groups, particularly Freedom Press, in the 1980s. He's been quite interesting. I look like I'm alone. I'm not. I'm joined with Alison.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Alison. Who's got an anonymity order, so you can't see her face.
Which isn't a bad thing.
Which is a terrible thing. What do you make of it?
I suppose my main takeaway, which I have been reluctant to say at the beginning of all this nonsense, however many years ago, but I think the more we see, the more this is Stasi Britain. That's what I think. I think, I really, when we were saying that right at the beginning, some people said it right at the beginning, I was like, oh, come on, let's not exaggerate, let's not, let's wait and see. But actually, what Pearce is talking about is being effectively a contractor for MI5. I think I may have tweeted in a moment of carelessness. Pound shop, James Bond.
Pound shop, but James Bond wannabe, I think, is what you said.
007 wannabe.
007 wannabe, yeah.
And he's got the look as well.
Yeah, very much. I mean, he didn't save money on his suits, does he?
My eyes aren't that good, but he's got a good head of hair.
Yeah, maybe you got it from Turkey. I mean, there was a lot of stuff in there. There was he talked about discovering a bomb, but he can't. He had a lot of detail.
The bomb. I've got something to say about the bomb.
Go on, talk about the bomb.
Because I can't. The bomb is weird, and not least because I can't imagine someone telling me about a bomb and me not remembering who it was that told me.
Yeah, quite.
I think I'd really know who told me about the bomb.
The other thing was that he claimed that it had been left there unnoticed for a month.
For a month, I don't understand that. I really don't understand. I mean, I'm knitting quite a lot, but that helps me concentrate. And I think, do I miss bits? But no, the bomb was there for a month.
Yes, supposedly, allegedly.
Understand.
Yeah, very strange. I mean, there was a lot of things that he talked about. He came out with some fairly disgusting stuff as well about being tempted by women early on. That was, what we've come to be used to with these people.
I think the main stuff I heard about the women was that it was all a secret and no one knew.
Yeah.
And it was all, it was all
completely flies in the face of what we heard from Tranche 1 officers, some of whom talked about the backroom sort of culture around talking about women. The idea that like a group of blokes of that age would have, during that time, would have got together and never discussed women at all just seems like nonsense.
Rubbish. And also he seemed to think that, he said the Met, didn't he say something like the Met and everybody involved in the SDS has shown deep regret and sorrow for the way women were treated.
Yeah. Well,
that's just not true, is it?
Completely not true. I mean, he's literally basing that on the one apology, which has been recycled numerous times.
Yeah, and also like Oliver Saunders.
Yeah, him.
Who represents a number of HN officers, including Mark Jenner. Including Jenner and Coles and Neri, loads of them.
Absolutely no regret.
They haven't shown any regret or sorrow.
Whatsoever.
The individual officers haven't, their lawyer hasn't.
No.
So I don't know what he's been following, Mr. Pearce, but he's not, despite saying he's very keen to have the whole picture and the jigsaw. He talks about MI5's jigsaw, doesn't he?
Yeah, that was nonsense. Yeah.
He doesn't seem to have the whole picture over what's happened to the women.
No, he also talked about it being like a position full of integrity.
Oh, yeah.
So we're in the hallway again, so there's people walking past all the time. Yeah, I mean, the integrity thing, I mean, it's like, it's that thing, when the lie's big enough, you kind of like stunned into silence of not being able to react to it.
But it's proper 1984 stuff. It's proper paradoxical oxymorons, whatever you want to say, that puts two opposites together and makes one. He's saying that, didn't he say that the thing is about being a professional liar is that you have to have an officer who's a professional liar has to have absolute integrity.
Yeah.
Sorry? Because they're lying for a job. And therefore, why do they have to have absolute integrity? Sure, I don't know what he's talking about. Again, and you kind of do the mental gymnastics. You try to twist your head. Yeah. There's a phrase in Yiddish called "verdreh your Kopf," and it literally means spinning your head, twisting your head. And that's what he's doing. He's verdrehing our Kopf.
Well, I mean, he's getting us to anyway. I mean, I think that there's... I mean, he talks about not remembering things quite a few times. You were keeping a bit of a tally of that, weren't you?
I've played Spycops Bingo all morning. Yeah.
Yeah, and did you get a house?
I didn't get a house. I got a lot of I do not recall. A lot of I do not recall.
He didn't really mix it up too much. He wasn't that verbose when it came to explaining how he'd forgotten. He just kept saying, "I do not recall."
Yeah, he stuck with that. Yeah.
I mean, maybe he'd seen bingo card.
Maybe yes.
I mean, from what we understand, the undercover cops are some of our closest viewers of what we put out. So perhaps he had seen the bingo card.
I hope so.
I mean, this is only the first half of Roger Pearce. We're getting more this afternoon. You're not sticking around for it, though.
Well, I've got a meeting for a proper job and everything.
Real jobs. Some of us have got real jobs. I mean, I haven't at the moment.
I will try to zoom in later to
Yes.
and see what we can do. But
Yeah.
it's all I mean, I'm left a bit speechless again. But what it did make me think about, like being in the gallery and being near enough to see them properly, did make me think about what it's going to be like when some of the women have these men who we were in relationships with up there and actually in the room. I can't quite believe that's ever going to happen, but
no, I know exactly what you mean. It kind of feels like it's going to be it feels like everything will fall apart before then.
Or they all have a sort of boys' holiday abroad and they just can't be here.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder if we're going to just see a bunch of photos from Ibiza.
Yeah.
All the lads having an away day so that they can't be called to the inquiry.
Yeah, I suspect that might happen. But no, it's been a very interesting morning. Very interesting, and I'm sure, and it promises to be a very interesting afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry to be missing it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a bit of a shame that it's not been broadcast on YouTube like some of the previous sessions have been. A transcript will be released. I'm not sure if the audio of this will be released or not. It was unclear. I'm not really sure.
I'm not sure.
But there will be a transcript, certainly, in due course. There is restriction orders over this particular hearing relating to one individual. Which is, again, has to be said, is a completely avoidable problem that if the inquiry had been doing disclosure in a timely manner, would never have happened. But we are where we are. Is anything else to add, really, about this morning?
Not from me, comrade.
No worries, comrade. Well, thanks for joining us. I'll be back this afternoon. I'll continue to follow things on Twitter. Just follow the hashtag Spycops. There's a couple of other people following along. If you've got any questions, anything you want us to cover, please just get in touch. Cheers.